For his perspective on this, we've now reached Frédéric Bérard in Montreal. He is a political commentator at the Université de Montréal. Frédéric, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thanks to you.
Okay, so we heard some of the quotes pulled out from that interview. An election campaign likely just around the corner. So do you think Pierre Poilievre's comments are a taste of what's to come?
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Poilievre has the playbook of Trump in his back pocket, and he's already starting to use it. Going to the Peterson show, if I may call it that way, was a strong statement about that, because we all know that Peterson has some serious issues on social media for some stakes he took in the past. So clearly that was all staged. Let's say that way.
In addition to Pierre Poilievre's comments in that interview, he also said he would call for an election even if it takes place during a Liberal leadership race. What do you make of that?
Well, that's the point. When I'm talking about Trump's playbook, I mean, Poilievre has no respect for procedure, has no respect for institution, has no respect for the cultural policies of Canada. I mean, we have a policy of courtesy between the parties, a certain kind of respect for democracy as well. So clearly, Poilievre wants to play hardball with Trudeau and taking advantage of the weaknesses of the Liberals right now.
Let's talk more about Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, because that Liberal caucus, the National Liberal Caucus, has scheduled a special meeting for Wednesday. We know that the calls from MPs for Trudeau to step down, they're intensifying. So what do you think will come out of this meeting this week?
Well, actually, I think he's done. I was like 50-50 maybe 10 days ago, because the guy is he's a very stubborn guy, and he thought that you could get through that. But now I think it's over with all those MPs that are asking for his departure. I think this is not realistic to think that he could be in charge for the next election.
So if you, in your opinion, think that Trudeau will bow out and that we could hear this announced sometime in the next few days on Wednesday, what do you think this will mean when it comes to the leadership race? What could we see within the party?
Well, that's a problem, because they have to move very, very, very quickly. So who's going to be in charge? Would that be Mark Carney? Would that be Christina Freeland? That's not sure yet. They need to have a race that would be like so short. That would be a first, I think, in Canadian history. And this is why I said that Poilievre wants to take advantage of that clearly. So how they're going to manage that is a very essential at this point. I guess that some MPs would probably rather say, well, at this point, let's stick with Trudeau and let's go in election and see what's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, the decision is Trudeau's right now, and I think that we're going to have some news. I would guess probably tomorrow or Thursday at the latest.
Now, you talked about the opposition. How much of a gift for the opposition is this to see this turmoil within the Liberal Party right now?
Well, that's Christmas after Christmas, obviously, especially for a Conservative, of course, but also for the NDP. If you take a look at the last survey, the NDP is in front of the Liberal in many ridings. So I think that they could take advantage as well. Yeah, well, that's it for Conservative, for the NDP, and for the Bloc Québécois as well in Quebec, but because the Bloc is mostly left-wing, center left-wing, a bit like the Liberals. So I guess that there are some Liberal voters that will decide to vote for the Bloc Québécois, even though it doesn't necessarily make sense in terms of national unity. But I think that some of them will be inclined to make that shift.
We only have about 30 seconds left. You predict that we could hear Trudeau announcing that he is bowing out. What if that doesn't happen and he announces he's staying in? What are you watching for next?
Yeah, well, after that, the government will be reversed, and we're going to go in election because there's going to be a motion of censure in the next few weeks. So Trudeau will be a very weak leader if he decides to stay. It's going to be a very, very strange campaign because Obviously, all the candidates will have to run with him. But as we know right now, there's not a lot of MPs who think that he's the man as we speak. So it's going to be a very, very strange campaign, let's say that way. And obviously, the Conservative, the NDP, and the Bloc will be like quite happy campers about that.
Frédéric Bérard in Montreal, thank you so much.
Thanks to you.